meet and move laterally and open up a crease that they can run through. Didn't happen on that play.
Here's 2nd and 9, just a yard on that last run. Now Ryan going to give it to Freeman. And the reinforcements come in as they're going to stop him behind the line. It'll be a loss of a full 3 yards there, and it also brings up 3rd down. Three and out, a real danger here on their opening drive as they come up on a 3rd and 12. Out of the gun, it's Ryan. Into heavy traffic, and it's intercepted. Picked up by Josh Jones, and he will score. Touchdown, Cowboys. Well, it was 3rd down. Defensively, they were just hoping to make a play and get off the field, get their offense on. Instead, they did one better. Pick it off, take it into the end zone.
Well, they did what you said. They got off the field.
They're going to have to come right back on.
They're going to come right back on, but happily, right? They put the ball in the end zone. That's the way you start a game. That's the way you set the tone.
So they throw the pick six. They'll get another shot at it now as this one's in the air. And this will not be returnable. It's out of the back of the end zone for a touchback.
His girlfriend's Debbie does that.
About set to begin their next drive, the Falcons offense at the line. And the magnitude of this game, everybody knows it. The fans, obviously the players and coaches, there's just with them a palpable buzz right now. They know they control their own destiny.
Win and you're in. And I think every player wants that. I think every coach wants that. I haven't been in an organization yet that wants to be in a game where they have to rely on other teams to get them to their goals. In this situation, it's very cut and dry. Win and you're in the playoffs. That's their mission. That's their challenge. And you know they've chosen to accept it.
And what they told us is this has been the most focused week of practice we've had all year. You wouldn't expect any different.
Yeah, and you know, at the beginning of the season, you have multiple goals. They just have one now. Win the game.
Plays like we just saw there, that's why they're up right now. The defense, they're doing their job.
Yeah, it starts with the guys up front. So when you talk with GMs who are putting together a team, a lot of them say we're going to build from the inside out, because if you control the line of scrimmage, you control the rest of the ball game, and that's what we're seeing here. They're actually playing in the offense's backfield, not necessarily just playing at the line of scrimmage.
There's a doorman every day.
It's Freeman. And he is met in his tracks behind the line of scrimmage. And now we'll get a stoppage here. There appears to be an injured Falcon on the field. And this is certainly not what you want to see in the final week of the year. We'll be back. Two running plays, each lose a yard. They'll need to do much better now on 3rd and 12. From the gun, it's Ryan. Ryan hit, and he lost the football. It's picked up by the Cowboys. And his guys are going to take over at the 34-yard line.
Well, that's a down and distance coaches always talk about trying to avoid, isn't it? I mean, that's 3rd and long. And you just know they're pinning their ears back and coming after him. Sometimes even with extra pressure.
And he knew that. I mean, he knew they were coming. He just fumbled it.
Yeah, he knew it. The offensive line knew it. Everyone did. Yet the pressure was still there, and he ended up coughing it up.
And he tried to bounce it outside, but they'll stop him behind the line.
Nice play right there to stop him behind the line, but I want to see how this defense continues to play him here in the first half.
Yeah, we know. You know better than I. He has the ability to take over a game, so what do you do?
Yeah, I think you have to make sure that you bottle him in at varying levels, because if you crowd everyone to the line of scrimmage, if he breaks through, there's nothing but room to run. A quick burst there, and he nicely bit off a pretty decent gain.
In danger of squandering their great field position as they come up on a 3rd and 7.
Let's go, defense. Our time. It's our time. 45, 45, 45.
Working from the gun, Keenum. And that will be incomplete.
You hear the calls for a penalty, but I just don't think so. I think in this situation, the defender was making sure his guy couldn't hold on to the football. So I don't see anything that warranted a flag.
No, I'm with you. There was contact, but I'm happy they kept that flag in the back pocket. And this one is right down Broadway. And the lead moves to 10-0. So they recovered the fumble, but ultimately could not take advantage of the short field.
Definitely a lost opportunity right there. I mean, they were in prime position to put 6 on the board. Ended up settling for 3.
That'll be taken in the end zone. And he'll wind up about 4 yards shy of where he would have been if he'd taken a knee, as they'll start at the 21-yard line. The Atlanta offense out there for their next drive. And job one here, Charles, just keep possession of the football. 2 drives, 2 turnovers to this point.
You're exactly right, Doctor. Hippocratic oath. First, do no harm. And right now, they're harming themselves on offense.
I like that. No one is mistaking me for a doctor, though. But thank you, Dr. Davis. The tally on that first down run. Here's 2nd and 2. Ryan. Here's Sanu on the catch. 7 yards there and a first down.
One thing you're hoping for when you run drag routes, you're able to hit a receiver in stride, and he can pick up a lot of yardage after the catch. But in this situation, the defense was effective, able to stop him before he could get a good head of steam going.
So from the 36 now, 1st and 10. They'll toss it to Smith. And he will lose yardage back to the 34-yard line. It's a loss of 2 there, bringing up 2nd down.
An interesting and intriguing decision there defensively, because they kept extra DBs on the field despite seeing the multiple tight end look that came out for the offense.
I thought they were going to switch out of it. I didn't know if they felt they didn't have time or what the case was.
Well, in any event, the extra speed allowed for great penetration as they stuffed that one behind the line of scrimmage.
On 2nd and 12, Ryan. And it's hauled in by Austin Hooper. And he'll be taken down, but not before he works it past the 50. A nice pickup there, 18 yards, first down Falcons. So from Cowboy territory now, here's 1st and 10 at the 48-yard line. They'll try the right side here with Smith. And this will leave him a yard short. Nice pickup of 9 yards on first down. Well, you're down early. How do you get back in the game, maybe establish the run? I think they're trying to do that.
Now, I'm with you on that one, and what I like about the message is that there's no panic from the head coach. He's already told his offensive coordinator, let's run the football, let's get things settled down a little bit and find our way back into this game.
The last run got 9. That leaves him with 2nd and a yard. Now Ito Smith. And he's going to be brought down by the face mask. Here come the flags. This is going to get him a first down. Well, we looked at each other right away. We knew that flag was coming out.
And I always enjoy the conversation post, because officials always tell you, I don't want to throw the flag, but you caused the play. You did it. I had to.
Throwing now, Ryan on first down. And finding the tight end, Hooper. Call it a 1-yard gain on the play, and it'll make it a 2nd down.
Well, they're unable to convert that into much, but it's never a bad idea to try to get the ball into a tight end of his caliber's hands and see what kind of disruption he can cause.
They only got a yard out of that last completion, and that makes this 2nd and 9. Ryan. Pressure applied, and he's going to be taken down. They sack him back at the 33-yard line. The tank, DeMarcus Lawrence with a sack. So the sack pushes him back, and now 3rd and long for Ryan and the Falcons. Here's Ryan to throw. And it falls incomplete after almost being intercepted. A pick there would have been great. The good news for the defense now, it's 4th down. So a field goal try here on 4th down as the Falcons call on Matt Bryant. This is a 49-yard attempt, right hash. And this one is right down the middle. And they get themselves on the board here. It's 10-3. So 3 drives now for this offense, and that field goal gives them their first 3 points.
So if you're an offensive coordinator and you're averaging a point a drive, you're in the wrong line of work, aren't you? You got to find a way to unlock the key to these defenses and put some big points on the board.
And the decision to bring it out will cost him about 5 yards as he'll get this only back to the 20. About set for this next drive by the Cowboys offense. And they're not going to play this conservative, I don't think. They had the field goal last time, and they're up, but they're looking to put a drive in the end zone.
Oh, I agree with you totally. No one goes out on the field and says, all right, let's just settle for 3, except in certain situations, trying to ice a game, that sort of deal. Most of the time, it's end zone, and that's what you're thinking, and I believe that's exactly what they're thinking as they begin this one.
Yeah, no quarterback ever goes out there saying, hey, let's get 3, right?
Not one that I've ever met.
A first down carry by Elliott, and they will only muster a yard here to the 38. In on the stop, DeMonte Casey.
One thing to keep in mind, partner, especially in the second half, when you've got a running back of this size, of these dimensions, I can just tell you, attrition does set in for a defense because you're excited about hitting him in the first half. Maybe not so much in the second.
And down he goes. Keenum is sacked.
Now, that was just absolute perfect man coverage. Nowhere for them to go with the football. Led to a sack. And that's really difficult to do in today's NFL with all these gazelles running around that you're trying to cover in the secondary.
Third and long. It's Keenum. Into heavy traffic, and it's intercepted. Picked up by Keanu Neal. And he will return this one to the 30-yard line.
Well, it's 3rd and long, and you've got a few different ways to play it offensively. But this is not the type of offense that's going to wave the white flag. They're going to keep chucking it. And this time, it results in an interception.
So 1st and 10 now from the 30. After the interception, here's Ryan. And it's caught over the middle. Hooper. And they'll work it inside the 15-yard line before it's all said and done. Now, after the completion, we're going to get a timeout, an injured player. And in Week 17, let's hope this won't affect him for the playoffs. We'll step aside. A first chance in the red zone for the Falcons now. They have a 1st and 10 at the 13-yard line. From the shotgun, Ryan. And a loose football. And it's picked up by the Cowboys. And nothing but daylight ahead. The 40, 30, past the 20. And this is going to be brought back for a fumble return touchdown by the Cowboys. Oh, backbreaker. That'll drive the coach. The offensive coordinator just crazy. You get it all the way down there in the red zone. Can't capitalize. Instead, they go the other way on the fumble return for a touchdown.
How about the aggressiveness of the defense, though? They're not about to just fall on a fumble, are they? Scoop and score is their motto, and they just did it.
Extra point by Marr, up and good. And the lead is now 17-3. That's fielded in the end zone. And he's able to get it across the 20, but not by much, as he's marked down at the 21-yard line.
You said You said if you win, you give him what?
About set to begin their next drive. The Falcons offense at the line.
Steve, you said you'll give him what if you win?
But I'll tell you what, I'm glad you and I weren't down there. We could hear them. The coaches from all the way up here, they were
catch the damn pick. That's a challenge. You better get that. You better get that
It's easy
done.
for me to laugh sitting up here, but you're exactly right. We were down there. That message would
Come out with your best game plan.
Because turnovers, they've been a big problem for them. Got to take care of the football. Got to hold on to it.
From the 21, it's 2nd and 10. Throwing again. Ryan. This complete to Jones. And they're able to get this one across the 35. 17 yards and a first down for Atlanta.
Now that was pretty. They executed that curl route versus zone coverage, and that changes things a little bit because against man, it's often a tight curl, sharply run route.
Oh my God, I just missed the easiest hit stick in the world.
So you make curl a little bit wider just to get to that place.
And usually a tight window. He fired a bullet in there for the completion. Another big gainer that time. This one goes for 19 yards. This offense finding its legs now. Here's another 1st and 10. This is Crockett. And he'll be brought down at about the 42. Just a yard on the pickup there, and it'll bring up a 2nd and 9.
Early down stuff will put this offense in a precarious position. We know that securing the point of attack, especially against the big-bodied guys in the middle of this D, has got to be priority one.
The run only got a yard. Here's 2nd and 9. To throw is Ryan. Nowhere to escape, and he goes down. DeMarcus Lawrence in there yet again. What else is new? He continues to rewrite the record book in single-season sacks. So the sack pushes him back, and now 3rd and long for Ryan and the Falcons. From midfield now, here's Ryan. And the throw there going to be incomplete. Jordan Lewis right there on the coverage. Problems on 3rd down so far in this first half. Relatively small sample size, but they're now 0 for 3.
And the average in the league, somewhere around 40% on 3rd down for offenses. So what's the answer to this? Either convert them or don't get the 3rd down in the first place. Get your big chunks of yards on 1st and 2nd down.
Let's go. Let's do it.
About set for this next drive by the Cowboys offense. And following the interception, just any interception, are you a little bit more cautious when you start that next drive, or no, you just throw that out the window?
I think you are. I don't think that there's any way you can run back out there and go, totally didn't affect me. Let's just go ahead and be loose with the football again. You're going to take care of it, but you have to be careful about being too cautious because now you can't run any offense at all.
Still want to attack. We'll see how they attack them here. From the 26, they'll line up on 2nd and 4. This is Elliott. And he gets this one just shy of the 40. They'll mark him down at the 39. 13 yards and a first down, Cowboys. So after a good run by Zeke, another 1st and 10. Now a handoff here to his running back. Nowhere to go that time. He maybe got a yard up to the 40.
And this is why aggressive defensive coordinators love to blitz. It wreaks havoc because they end up taking their attention to the blitzers, freed up the D lineman to make the play.
On 2nd and 9, Keenum. They complete it to Hill. And he'll be taken down, but not before he works it past the 50. 13 yards and a first down, Cowboys. From Falcon territory now, here's 1st and 10 at the 47. Play action. Now it's Keenum. Under a heavy rush, and down he goes. Deion Jones. The blitz works to perfection as he gets in there to dump him for a loss of 8.
Well, maybe that can give him a little bit of a pick-me-up, a little bit of a jolt. One of the few things that's gone right defensively.
Because other than that, it's really been a first half to forget. 2 minutes remaining in this first half of football. A reminder, once we hit halftime, as we do all season, we'll send it down to Jonathan Coachman in Orlando. He'll have all the stats and scores from games in progress around the NFL.
The best multitasker in the business, the coach.
Throwing on second and long. Keenum, and this is going to wind up incomplete. The coverage there too strong on the deep ball, and now they face a third down.
Trying to get that one to his tight end, and they've been trying to get the ball to him, but as of yet, unable to successfully complete one. But you know, there's usually a nice comfort zone in throwing to the tight end. Great sight lines, usually right in the middle of the field.
On third and long, it's Keenum. And that'll wind up incomplete. Bold play call there. Now it's fourth down. You can tell they were hoping for a flag there offensively. Several on the sideline motioning. Hey, why not a penalty? Why not a penalty? What did you see?
Yeah, I think you've got to let them play, and the officials are instructed. If there's contact coming from both sides, no flag. Let them fight it out.
And forces fourth down.
And he's got to be fired up about that effort. I don't think he could have walked down and placed it any better than where he ended up putting the football. That was excellent.
The Atlanta offense out there for their next drive. They're going to have to go at least 50, 60 yards here if they want to ensure that they don't have to punt the ball like they did last time.
Yeah, so what you're saying is we're not playing to just get out of the shadow of your own goal line, right? You're playing to make sure the punter doesn't see the field again. So it's not picking up a couple of first downs. You want to pick up 5 or 6 first downs and make sure you move the ball into their territory.
4 yards on that last completion, so that sets up 2nd and 6. Now Ryan. And now he's going to go down in the end zone. Down goes Matt Ryan, and that's a safety. And you know, the man who sat in my chair the last few years, he has a theory. These plays, these safeties, they're so rare. Maybe they should be worth more than 2, maybe 4 points.
I think he's got a great point. I really do, Brandon. But I would go ahead and up it to 6. I'm a former defender. To me, that's like scoring a touchdown.
Easy now. I'll go 4. I don't know about 6.
Come on. Come up to 6.
A lot of points. About set for this next drive by the Cowboys offense. They have been red hot, sometimes white hot here in this first half. They're just looking to add to that total right now.
And this has to serve as a reminder to myself because so many times I get wrapped up in the play calling, how they've sequenced things, how it's run. But you know, at the end of the day, it's still execution. Those guys out on the field, and right now they are locked in and really looking good.
They'll try to continue to be locked in here as we get ready to approach halftime. It's Hill, complete, and able to rip off a big chunk of yardage before being dropped inside the 40. A gain there of 21 yards. So from the 39 now, they'll come up on a 1st and 10. Back to throw, Keenum. Oh, Keenum has it knocked away. It's loose.
On plays like this where the ball comes free, it's often unusual for the team that lost it to get it back because this is the quarterback. The ball gets away from him. Everyone else is trying to execute what they're supposed to do on offense. They're usually looking in the other direction, downfield, or have moved away from him. In this case, though, a teammate is able to come up with the ball.
They try to throw on 2nd down, but this one is incomplete.
Right up to that point, I was about to say he's had a pretty good half catching the football, but let's just be honest about it. He should have caught that one.
And he knows that. That was one right in his breadbasket and one he normally catches. Again, Keenum. Man open is Keelan Cole, complete. An incredible play there. They do get big yardage, but they're still stopped a yard or 2 short, and it's 4th down.
Boy, they had a lot of real estate to make up there, but what a big-time play for them. Nice completion, excellent gain. Now they're in 4th and manageable.
Just a little short, though, with that marker. And this will split the uprights. It's right down the middle, and that will extend their lead even further. Still a little bit of time left here in the 2nd quarter, but they do get 3 before the half and expand that lead.
And they have to be happy about that, and we haven't met a team yet that doesn't put an emphasis on trying to get points on the board in the last 2 minutes of a half. They'll be real excited to have those up on the board.
About about set to begin their next drive. The Falcons offense at the line. Time here for likely a couple plays if they want it, but with the field position what it is, maybe better suited to just sit on this one?
I'm with you totally. I would sit on it and get into the locker room and start over. But if they do decide to try and make a play, we know what the basics are. You run draw, you run screen. I would maybe run a little swing pass and try and get my lineman out in space and see if they can chop a hole into the secondary and see if he can run a little bit.
The final 2 quarters of the NFL regular season are upon us as the second half of Week 17 is underway. That'll be taken in the end zone. And all that work, but he stopped where he ultimately would have been, and he's simply taken a knee, and that's the 25-yard line. About set for this next drive by the Cowboys offense. They built a good first-half lead. Now they have a chance to add on to it.
And what I'm thinking is that the offensive staff spent the entire halftime just working with them on, here's what we think they're going to do to attack us in the second half. Nice first half that we've had, guys, but be prepared for some change-ups. We're going to see them when we kick it off in the second half.
See how they handle any adjustments that might be made defensively. They go to Elliott again. Call it a gain of a yard, and it's going to bring up 3rd and 5.
Tough first half for him, unable to put up the numbers he's used to producing. But with a guy like him, you and I both know it just takes a couple of explosive touches for him to make an impact on this game and on the stat sheet as well.
From the gun on 3rd down, Keenum. And that'll be incomplete. Well, they took their shot all right, but it comes up empty, and it's 4th down.
They had enough yards for the first down, but a clutch hit right there defensively. Jars it free. No first down.
The Atlanta offense out there for their next drive. They're down in this game. A chance for the offense, though, to put something on the board, get some momentum here in half 2.
Try and get things kick-started for them. And you know at the half, they discussed how they were going to get that done. This is where scripting comes into play a lot of the time.
How many plays do you script coming out of the second?
Most of the time in the first half, you're scripting 12 to 16. I think in the second half, you're really scripting more like 8 to 10. Kind of a starter or an opener, whatever terminology they use. Just something to get you off to a quick start.
To throw on 2nd and 6, Ryan, and that'll be incomplete. Took a pretty good shot as he tried to pull that one in. Couldn't hang on 3rd down. We saw this a lot in the first half, and it continues. These receivers just not able to get much separation.
So that means they have to win the 50-50 balls. They've got to go up with the defender and find a way to start coming down with them.
And this time, contact and another incomplete pass. This offense in desperate need of a conversion as they come up on 3rd down. And with a flag down, he goes down. So they're able to sack him. Now the penalty looks like it could be holding. Let's find out. Here's Matt Bosher now as he'll punt it away for the 2nd time. Taking it about the 36. A very good return that time. 18 yards. And the Cowboys are going to take over in great position here with a 1st and 10. They'll try and get the running game going with Elliott. And he picks up about 6 as he gets this down to the 41. A lot of running backs, a little bit of a disadvantage when you start talking MVP. Might not be the case this year. You think he's got a shot, don't you?
I do. I think he's got more than a shot. But what he's going to need here down the stretch this late in the season, he needs that big closing game, that game that we're all going to reflect on and go, oh, my goodness, did he put up a number, let's say 200 plus?
And here he'll be brought down a little shy of the 35 at the 36. A gain of 5, good enough for the 1st down.
3rd quarter and you've got the lead. You're not ready to go into that 4-minute offense to close the game out, but a running game can really benefit your team right now.
So from the 36 now, 1st and 10 on 1st down. It's Elliott, and he'll lose yardage on the play back at the 37-yard line. It's a loss of a yard there, and it's 2nd down.
think it's pretty evident. We can say what a difference a week makes. Last week, he ran pretty much wild, didn't he? Did pretty much what he wanted to do. But this one, they've stopped him cold. That, to me, that's good scouting and even better execution.
Yeah, and they stopped him behind the line right there. They obviously watched the tape a few times and made some adjustments.
They're trying to show that they can run the ball and protect this lead. Give it to the backs, play a little bit of keep away, don't you think?
And that's probably a good philosophy at this point, going to make that defense stand up and stop them. Keenum on third down. And he's able to hook up with Michael Gallup. First target, first catch, and a first down.
Did you see that route the way that I did? I thought he was trying to get deep.
Yeah, that wasn't the first option.
No, it came off of that guy, the deep guy. He came underneath on the drag, completed it very well.
And they'll get this down to the 10. A nice pickup of 14, and it moves the stick, sets up a first and goal. Now Elliott. And they go the wrong way on this one. Losing yardage back at the 12. That's going to go as a loss of 2, and it'll be second down. They'll try again on second and goal after going backwards to the 12. They'll try again with Elliott. And he'll take it into the end zone for a Cowboy touchdown. Ezekiel Elliott, his 26th touchdown, drawing even with Marshall Faulk for the 4th most in a single season. And the Cowboys, they push out in front further. Extra point by Marr, up and good. And the decision to just kick the extra point winds up successful. Following the touchdown, here's Marr to kick it away.
Ignite seems to be able to lead us slacking. Every other league.
This is taken about 7 yards deep. And he'll take this up past the 20 and down at the 22-yard line. About set to begin their next drive, the Falcons offense at the line. And on the last go-around, they really couldn't get anything going.
They had to punt from deep inside their own territory, which means they're going to lose the field position battle as a general rule. What they're looking for now is a little more consistency, move the ball at least a few times on offense, get a couple of first downs, and hopefully flip the field.
Yeah, just something to build off of. That's what they're looking for here. They go back to the ground with Smith. It'll be a pickup of a couple, and it leaves them with a 3rd and 3.
But we just saw a great example of what we talked about with his coach prior to the game. He's definitely one of the better linebackers at reading a play and flowing to make the stop before it turns into something big.
Ryan now to throw on 3rd down. Well, the two men come together, and it's incomplete. Excellent work defensively, brings up 4th down.
And we're into the second half now, and this is an offense that continues to struggle to sustain a drive.
Looks like they're just totally out of sync, whether they're running the ball, passing the ball like we saw there. I don't know. The rhythm seems off. About set for this next drive by the Cowboys offense. This is sort of what you would call a put-away drive, isn't it? They score here, especially a touchdown. It's almost out of reach.
It certainly feels that way, and I think that they're going to call their plays accordingly because what you really want to do, even though you know the scoreboard is still up there and the game's going to go on, in fact, you can take the spirit away from another team, that their drive and will to come back and win can be taken with another score right here.
Still 3rd quarter, but you just get that feel.
Yeah, they're teetering right there on the break, aren't they?
No gain that time, and it leaves them with 3rd and 11 coming up. This will probably be the last play of the quarter. They go back to Elliott. He's been busy. Well, this is going to depend on the spot, but it's not a very generous one. He looks to be about a yard or so short. Back now in Atlanta. A lot of folks starting to make their way to the parking lot. Their guys trail big here to begin quarter number 4. Averaging over 50 yards a punt so far as this one's away. That's a 48-yard punt with a coverage holding him to 3 on the return. And the Falcons will get it 1st and 10 from deep in their own territory. Ryan will bring the Falcons up now 1st and 10 from back at their own 10-yard line. Here's a throw to his running back. It's complete. And he's brought down, but not before they get it across the 20-yard line. It's a gain of 13 and a first down for Atlanta. And at his size, he's a smaller back. You can get him to football. He can kind of get lost, make someone miss. It's good for him.
Yeah, it's great for him. I like what you said there. Sometimes he gets lost in the traffic a little bit, but get him out in the open field into some space. That plays to his strengths the best and keeps him out of it where all the big boys are, you know, make someone miss in the open field.
Back-to-back good plays have him on the move on first down. Out of the gun, it's Ryan. And incomplete there, almost picked off. That's one you maybe expect your roaming free safety to come up with, but it's 2nd down. So now 2nd and 10 after the incompletion on first down. To throw again, Ryan. Nowhere to escape, and he goes down.
We've been around this league for a while, and many coaches never pull their starting quarterback, almost no matter the situation. In this case, though, I think he's got to make a decision. He's taking a pretty good beating out there.
Yeah, with the deficit, maybe not wanting to risk an injury. So the sack pushes him back, and now 3rd and long for Ryan and the Falcons. Now it's Ryan. And that is incomplete. Another incompletion. You know, it's a wonder he's still moving around back there the number of times he's been sacked.
Yeah, he's staying out there, isn't he? And you don't think about it much in a game like this, but he's showing incredible leadership, not taking himself out of a ball game that appears lost.
It'll be a 51-yard punt that time. And the Cowboys will take over the football with a 1st and 10. About set for this next drive by the Cowboys offense. We find ourselves here in the midst of a one-sided affair. A lot of fill time down the stretch, Mr. Davis.
So we could talk about food because that is something that you and I enjoy.
We share that.
We enjoy our time at the table. So maybe the best steakhouses in the city, but in all seriousness, the performances that we've seen this year, we've seen a bunch of great ones. And it's going to be hard to parse who's going to win the MVP.
Yeah, it really is.
Is it going to be a runner? Is it going to be a thrower? Can a defender finally win it this season? Those are the things that we could probably discuss.
And collectively, this is about as dominant of a performance as you could have hoped for on both sides of the football.
Might have to put it #1 for what we've seen this season.
A 20th carry here for Elliott. And he won't be close to a first down as he runs into a wall right around the line of scrimmage. No gain on the play there, and it'll bring up 4th down. On 4th down, the punt team is on as this is sent away. A well-hit ball there. 50 yards on the punt, 3 on the return. And the Falcons will be taking over 1st and 10. The Atlanta offense out there for their next drive. These guys had to punt their last possession, and that's become too familiar of a refrain. Too many of these drives just wound up going nowhere.
Well, you know how in baseball, when the pitcher gets a base hit and he's on base, they bring his jacket out to him to keep him warm? A lot of times the punter goes to the sideline, puts on sweatpants or a wrap over his leg to keep it warm. He might need a massage from the trainer right now from all the work he's getting.
A big hitter to start the drive has him up near midfield here for 1st and 10. From the gun, it's Ryan. He completes it to Jones. And he is tackled inside the 30, not quite to the 35. 17 yards and a first down for Atlanta.
Not only have they completed a couple on this drive, but they peeled off some pretty good chunks of yardage, too.
Absolutely great start. 2 nice plays in the pass game. Now can they continue to feed off that? They'll throw on first down with Ryan. Looking for Jones, and it's intercepted. Chidobe Awuzie with a pick. And a big turnover there as his guys will get the football back.
I'm not sure, Brandon, we've seen a sloppier played game this year for a team on offense. turn it over 4 times and expect to win? No chance whatsoever. And look, I have no idea what the ratio is about turnover 4 times and how that correlates to winning or losing, but I'll guarantee you, it's not very good.
So now they have to contend with 2nd and 13 after the first down run goes backwards. Again, it's Elliott. Looking for a cutback lane, but nothing
running
there
up
as he's
the
met
gut.
at the line of scrimmage. Calling no gain there, and now they're looking at a 3rd and 13. The Cowboys on 3rd down. Just 1 conversion in 8 tries. Not good. This is going to be 3rd and 13. Now Elliott. And that's not going to get it done. He'll come up well short of the first at about the 21. Call it a gain of 4, and it'll bring up 4th down. Just 2 minutes remaining here in the 4th quarter of what has been a one-sided affair. So the Cowboys in possession of the football here as we get you reset. They've got a 4th down here in a game that looks to have been decided already. It'll wind up being a net of 41. 9-yard return, 50 on the punt. And possession will switch hands, 1st and 10. About set to begin their next drive, the Falcons offense at the line. They've lost this one. Their offense has struggled. Do they try to put together something here at the end just to take into next week?
Yeah, sometimes teams want to do that and coaches want to. I remember one time I was on a team and we were losing late in a game like this, and you knew it was lost. It was over, right? And the coach called a running play and pretty much said to everyone, I want to see something executed well before we get out of here. And that was the message to the team.
Just something to build on.
Just something to build on.
And he's going to be intercepted a 3rd time. Picked off by Anthony Brown. And that one, Charles, is just going to about wrap up what was no doubt a dominating defensive performance.
Yeah, I don't care what team it is. I don't care who you play, whether they're strong offensively or not. Just giving up 3 points in the NFL, that's absolutely a dominant performance and one that they can build on.
Suddenly, it's 1st and goal after the interception. A quick change in the situation here.
Good game, bro.
Second and goal from the 6 this time. And they'll take a knee as the clock runs under a minute to play. And now can they reverse the trend on 3rd and goal with the last 2 plays having gone backwards? And they will take a knee here. So this one will end in a victory for the Dallas Cowboys. And, you know, it wasn't a shutout. They did give up the points in the 1st quarter, but 2nd, 3rd, and 4th quarter, they held them scoreless.
Brandon, if you throw a shutout for quarters 2, 3, and 4, you're going to win a lot of games in this league. And this felt a lot like, almost like if you say baseball,
not like the game's
and
ending,
the pitcher goes through the
out.
lineup the first time and the hitters get to see him, and then they come out after that and the bats start blazing, right? I think they saw their best stuff in the 1st quarter and just shut everything down from that point on. What a great, convincing performance.
So for the Cowboys, a final win here means they'll finish at 14-2. And now they'll have the week off as they get set to go after a Super Bowl title. Meanwhile, for the Falcons, this might wind up being a tough pill to swallow as they're going to finish the season at 9-7. And they'll get their shot at playoff football as they'll be on the road.